So let's get straight into morphing our text and let's dive straight in. So I'm going to go and create a new composition. I'm going to make it 1920 by 1080. Let's just call this 3D typography. And then I'm going to Command A and Command C, just copy that. Control if you're on the PC. I'm just going to use this word here. Click OK. Go to my text. Click anywhere and then just Command or Control V. And I'm going to use the words 3D typography. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go to my window and I'm going to go to my align, and then we click this one here to put it into the middle, and then we'll click this to put it into the center. And then I'm just going to duplicate this with Command on a Mac or Control on the PC and D. Just solo one of them, and then I will delete 3D on one, and then on the other one, click on the other one and unsolo the other one. I will delete typography. Right. So now we have our two words. I just need to quickly let you know that from this point, we're going to start converting these words into shape layers. And once they're converted into shape layers, we can't go back. So make sure you know what words you want to use. I'm going to hide the word typography and just focus on 3D for now. I'm just going to right click on it, go down to create, and then create shapes from text. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to use the actual shape layer to morph the text rather than the actual type itself, because the type won't allow us to morph. It needs a shape layer. And then from the shape layer, we can also turn it into 3D. Like you can turn 3D, actually live text into 3D, but in this one, we want it to morph and be 3D. So let's focus on that for now. I'm going to zoom in with my Command or Control plus, go down to the content, and then let's first of all just duplicate this. So Command and D, and then for this one I'm going to delete the 3, and then for the one above I'm going to delete the D, and I'll just solo this. Click down here, and then let's start animating this path. So let's go to around 4 seconds for now. We can always change this later. Put a keyframe at the path so it knows to end as a number 3. And then what we want at the start is to actually be a square. And this would be a good time to start using your rulers. And what we'll do right now, we'll actually put a ruler around this, a big square one. So I will first of all go down here and click my title and action safe. It's always handy to have this. Go to my window, go to view, and then we'll go to show rulers. Click on one of the rulers and drag, and then I want it to just align with the 3 dots. And let's grab a second ruler, click and drag that just where those 3 dots are as well. I'll just put them in a roundabout place for now, and then we can do it properly in a second. We're nearly there. And then one from the top, and then we'll grab another one from the top and we'll put it at the bottom. I am just going to quickly turn this white. So I'm going to click on my outlines, go to the fill color, and then just make this white. I'm just going to do the same to the other one as well. Click on here and make this white. Right, so let's go back to my 3. I'm going to click down here, and I'm just going to start grabbing hold of the path itself and then start dragging these points to this ruler over here. Before I do anything else, I need to go to my view, go down to lock guides, so then I don't move this. Make sure you're on the first frame, go to your path, click until you see them turn into tiny little circles like this. And all it will be is just a case of clicking and dragging and then holding your shift, and you'll be able to snap to this. I'm going to click and hold shift to snap to that. And then it's just, let's just make a big square. There we go. And then grab all of this handle, snap like that. Whoops. Let's go down like this. There we go. Use this corner. So again, holding shift, just snapping to the corners. We can drag those. And for this one, we'll use this corner. I always like to start with the corners first, and then the rest. I'm just going to move this one directly across. Yep. Do the same with this as well. Just make sure that that one's okay. Right. Do the same with that. I'm holding shift just to make sure it goes straight across. Snap to that. And then this bit here, with these here, I'm just going to click off. Sometimes if you do find that you've done that, you can always just click on the word path itself, then do one click to turn it into a circle, and to turn these into circles, and then you can start editing. I'll do the same with these as well. Put these over there. Move them all across. And then let's go in and straighten them out. So zoom in. I'm just going to grab all the handles. Bring them in. There we are. I think there's one there. And then that's there we go. So we got that section done. And then the same over here. Holding shift again, just clicking and dragging, snapping it to that ruler. There we are, another one. Gonna make that straight. And then we'll snap that across. That wasn't exactly straight, but we could do that now. There we go. There we go. So just last little section here. Clicking and dragging. Oops, I just realized I still have one selection, so I'm just going to undo that with Command and Z or Control and Z on a PC. And then let's flatten these Bezier curves out. Right. Oh, I seem to have still had something selected. Right, so let's click. There we go. There's our morph. So it goes from a square to this. Yep, I'm happy with that. Now let's grab our keyframe at the beginning. I'm going to put that to, we'll put that to 2 for now. So we go from here to 2 seconds, and then the morph happens. So now at the beginning, with everything selected, I'm going to double click on one of these. So then it selects all of them, and then click and drag this all the way down, because we want it to morph from nothing into a square, or a rectangle, should I say, and then into this. Yep, it's looking good. Right, so let's go ahead and do the same to the letter D. I'm just going to first of all right click on the first one and then just rename it 3, and then the second one, let's rename this D. Whoops, there we are. Rename this D. And let's do the same over here. So let's grab a hold of our rulers. Let's set this up again. Put that around here. And then we'll grab hold of the second one around there. I'm just going to quickly zoom in and make sure that's okay. Yep. Right, looking good. So I'm going to go to my letter again. Make sure I put a keyframe at, we'll put it at, yeah, put it at 4. But with this one, because we have an inner, we have to put the keyframe on two paths. So I'm just going to go down on these, put a keyframe on each path. Go to number 2, or 2 seconds, should I say, and then let's do the same again. So I'm going to click, hold my shift and get these to the corners. Seems like we don't have to do as much with the D because the other side's already done. I'm going to bring these Bezier curves in. And then with this middle section, we could just double click on it. And then we could just click and drag this in and just move this inward slightly. And then if you click and drag, you should be able to see that morphs like that. There we go. I like that. And then move to the beginning. And just like we did before, but this time, let's shift select both. Double click. And then let's move this down. Right, let's have a look at that. Yep, looking good. Right, so let's now do the same thing to our next word. So I'm just going to turn this on. Let's have a look. Yep, and then let's just turn this white first of all. Go down here, click on that, click OK. And then let's do the same as we did before. So I'm going to right click, go onto create, shape layers from text. And then what I will do is go down here and then I'm going to, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to duplicate this 10 times now. What I will do is change this into a different color. So we'll go for a yellow. And let's duplicate it 10 times. So Command and D or Control and D on a PC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. That should be enough. I'll hide all of them. Let's do the same process as we did before. So go down. I'm going to shift select all of them apart from the T. Press delete. Click on that. And then let's grab hold of some rulers. I'll just space bar across and then zoom in with Command and plus or Control and plus on a PC. And then let's bring these rulers in. There's one there. And it's going to be the similar process going forward from now. So if you have a different word, you can obviously you can keep listening to what I'm doing because I'm going to go through every word. But if you want to skip this and just get to the very end, then by all means you could do that. But I'm going to keep carrying on now. So it's the same process of grabbing hold of your letter, putting your rulers on, making it into a square, and then scaling it down. So we have that one done. I'm gonna just select those two above and press U to find out where the keyframes are. And then just snap to the 4 seconds. And then here I will put a keyframe on the T. And then like before, we're gonna work backwards. So over here, make sure your path is selected. Click once so you get your circles. And now let's click and drag these out. So shift select this one, shift select this one, and this one seems quite easy. So yep, and then go to the beginning, click on your path, double click, and then let's drag this down. Yeah, I like that. Right. Let's go to our next letter. Go down to the content, delete the T. and then shift select and delete all the rest. Go look, the T's there. Yep, all right. Go to 4 seconds, go to the Y, and let's put a keyframe here. Go to 2 seconds, and let's get our rulers in. I'm just going to quickly click on that. There we go. And let's just align these rulers. These guides are useful because once you've put the guides on, it's just easy to snap to them. Click on our path, click until the tiny little circles, and then shift select them into the corners. These I'm going to go straight across while holding the shift. I want to stick to kind of linear movements when the morph happens. And there's one there. Yep. And then over to the beginning, click on your path, double click, and then drag that one down. And then let's do the same to the next one. So turn this on, go down, content, and let's delete T and Y. And then shift select all the way down from O to Y. And the P, we've got 2 sections here like we did with the D. So we put a path on 4 seconds. A keyframe on path, so we want it to end up like that. Go down to 2 seconds. Let's get our rulers in. There's one there. Just going to zoom in a little bit, space bar across, and then just make sure I get this one right. There we go. And then we'll click that there. Right. Thankfully, they're all still circles, so I guess it's just a case of, whoops, actually clicking on the path. Almost made a mistake there. And then click once, there we go. Shift select. Just going to zoom out a little bit. For this section, I'm going to move this all the way across, and for these, I'll do the same here. This one requires a little bit more. Flatten those out. Let's quickly look at that before I move over to the center. Yeah, happy with that. And for the center, you can almost do it similar to how we did the D. So you click on the path, double click on one of the squares, so then we get an outline of a square here, and it's just a case of clicking and dragging in. Yep. And let's go to the end. And if you remember, like the D, shift select both of them, double click, and then make sure they're both selected and they're both squeezed down. And then again. So we have the T, Y, and the P done. So like before, T, Y, and P should be deleted for this one. Delete, and then G all the way to Y. Let's delete that one. So we're left with the O. Just going to go down here. And for this, we also have 2 paths again. So let's go to 4 seconds. And again, I'm only putting up 4 seconds for now. We're going to, later on, we can change this and retime this. It's just to get this initial morph in. Go to 2. Let's work on the outline first. No, actually, we need to get our rulers in. So click on one of the other ones so we get that square round just to put the rulers on. So there we go there, one there, and then one over here. Put a keyframe on that. And then let's start dragging this out. One there. Shift select one there. Drag this down, drag this one down. Same with the bottom ones. Snap these curves. And then with our path in the middle, for this one, I'm gonna go click and then yeah, go from left to right again. So I'm gonna do that just to stay consistent with the other ones. Yep, happy with that. Go to the beginning, make sure both are selected. Click and drag down. And let's have a look. I'm going to unsolo that one. Let's see how they're looking together. Right, yeah, that's looking good. Right, just going to carry on with the next letter, which we have as a G. So I'm going to minimize that one, go down, just like before, go down to the contents. Let's get rid of the T to O, and then R to Y. Let's go to 4 seconds. Let's quickly add a keyframe over here on the G. Thankfully, we've already got some rulers already done for this one. And then over at 2 seconds, let's do what we did before. Just going to snap to one of these. There we are. Put a keyframe there. I'm going to zoom in with Command and plus or Control and plus on a PC. Click, so we get the dots, the little circular dots, and then let's bring these to the corners. All right, and let's, again, the whole time I'm holding Shift. Let's get these snapped. Snap this to this. And these top ones, just going to snap them in. There we are, one there, one there. And again, it's just a similar process all the way through. And thankfully, we already have a piece, so we can always just duplicate that one. Gonna just click and drag this across. I could just put it there for now, and then the same with these ones as well. Put that there. Put that there, just to cover that section up. Just straighten those out. I can, you know what, we can actually snap it all the way here just to ensure that it's straight, so I'm going to do that. And then for this one, same again, take this across. And for this, I'm going to bring this down to here. I'll bring this across as well down there, just to fill that up. And then I'm just going to zoom in, and then we'll do the same for this section over here. So for this, let's bring that straight up to there. Put that over there, just to kind of keep that curve going. One over there, and then these corner sections, we seem to have a little bit there, so we could just move these slightly up. And then let's have a look at how that's looking. Whoops. Just undo that one. Actually, maybe we should move that one down. Grab hold of the handle and just, there we go, just bring the handle up instead. So let's have a look at that. Yep. Yeah, that looks good. Put it to the beginning, zoom out, and as before, double click, get a square around it, click and drag and scale this down. Good. Right, let's work on the next one. So the next letter is an R. So go down to the contents, delete the T all the way to the G, A to Y, and thankfully we have another square already. Well, the rulers are already done. So with this one, we've got 2 sections. So I'm going to go to 4 seconds. I suppose I can always hide the unsolo that one. Let's just focus on this. Keyframe both. Go to the center. And then let's start putting these to the corners. Shift select that. There we go. Move this one across. Move this down. For this one, I'm just going to bring this right down. Yeah, let's just bring all these right down. I think that's probably best for this one. Flatten them out. There we go. And then for this, let's double click the center and then bring this over to the left. Let's have a quick look at that one. Yep. Go to the beginning, zoom out, double click on it, make sure both of them are selected. Almost forgot to do that. And then double click on one point and then click and drag down. Right. Let's work on the next one again. So we've had our R, so let's work on the A. Go down. Content. Now this one I'm going to have to make some rulers for, so delete all those, and then the P to Y, delete those. Let's go down on our A. And again, we've got 2 paths here again. I'll just quickly put a keyframe at A so we know where it's going to end up as, which is that there. Let's click on one of the other lines. So just get those lines out. There we go. One there. Whoops, just undo that because I've clicked off it. Click on that, there we go. So we can see the square. Just the dotted line, just helpful. There we go. Right. And same again, really. So over here, go to our path. Click once until you see tiny little circles. And let's drag those out. That should be fine. This should be an easy one. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, this one. And then this second section, I think if we just double click, whoops, I moved it then, double click. And then we're going to have all the middle sections going left to right, keep the consistency. Yep. And then here, make sure you have both selected, double click. Let's move that down. Right, next one. Just slowly chipping away at this. I know this is a little bit time consuming, but I think it's good for you to see each letter. So we've already done the P, so what we could do is copy that one and move that across. But what I will do, I'll make some borders and some rulers for it anyway. Maybe make sure that's okay, and then later on we can copy and paste it and place it into place. Yep. Okay, so I will delete everything there. Delete that one. Let's just make sure that if you click down and we click on one of these, there we go, nearly there. I need to make another one because I think I've just, oops, undo that. I've missed it a little bit, and because I've also locked the guides, I can't actually touch it, so I need to quickly undo my lock guides, grab hold of that first one and put it back. Window, view, lock guides again. Let's go to our P. So if I zoom out, unsolo this. What else do we need to unsolo? Aha, I see, because we're in the first frame. Silly little mistake from me, apologies. Let me click on that one. So Command and C, and then Command and V. P for position, and then I'm just gonna move this all the way across and then just line up with this one, and then I could just delete the one before. Click and drag this all the way down. Just put it above there. And for this, we'll just hide that for now. I'll just turn it a different color. I don't want to delete it just yet. You never know. Right, next one. H. Let's make a, we're nearly there. We're getting towards the end now. T to P, delete that. H. Let's get the, zoom in. Let's get those keyframes in. So 4 seconds. Go down to its path. This one's only has one path. And then at 2 seconds, let's get these rulers in. There we go. I'm going to zoom out, and also I think we can also do it with the Y as well, because we already have a Y. Yep, so we could copy and paste that Y across. So this is the last one to actually do manually. So zoom in, click once. Oops, let's do that again, making mistakes here. Click once, there we go. And I'm just gonna click and drag this up, and then again holding the shift. Yeah, the H seems quite straightforward. Right, and then again move to the end, double click on one of the squares. Right, and then let's grab hold of if I'm gonna, first of all, what I'll do, I'll select this yellow and then select the label group and then just close them. And we know Y is the second one, so I'll just quickly solo that and make sure I have the right one selected. Zoom out. Yep, it seems that I have. Duplicate that, bring it down. Duplicates with Control and D or Command and D on a PC. Make this bottom one an aqua color, because we're not going to use that, but you never know, we might need it. Click on the one that's soloed, P for position, and then click and drag this all the way to the right. And then we've technically done all of our letters. We still need to animate them out and then turn them 3D, but for now, this section is pretty much done. Just get this out. I'll tell you what, I can always turn this one on. You see, I almost made a mistake there. It's there, it needs to go. go, and I will make some rules for it anyway. We might not need it, but just to get into the habit of doing it. Click and drag that out. There's one there. And then there's another one there. Right, we have our text done. Right, now let's play around with some of the keyframes. So I'm just going to unsolo all this. I'm going to grab hold of this one and this one that we don't need, just put it at the bottom. Actually, I think I still have a few. In fact, just keep them hidden really. Don't really need them anymore, along with that text. So we'll keep that there. I'll bring this down. I'm gonna just show these. There we are. Click the bottom one, shift select the top one, and I'm going to press U to reveal all of its keys. And then let's start straightening out these keyframes and cleaning them up. So I'm going to go to the beginning, shift command and right cursor on a Mac, or use a control for the PC. Click and drag all of these keyframes. Not all of them are straight for me, but I'm just going to click and drag them, and let's clean these up. So there's one there. I could zoom right in actually, using the plus key. Drag this out. Right. Get these over here. Whoops. There we go. Same with this group over here. So then in 10 frames, they grow. And then I want it to hold for 10 frames. So shift command right cursor. And then what we can do is grab hold of this and then just paste our way down. So command on a PC or control on a Mac, and C and then V for copy paste, and do the same all the way down. Just make sure this timeline is here, because when we copy, it will paste it exactly where the timeline is, which is going to be 10 frames ahead. So, and then later on in the session, we can, probably not this session, maybe a couple of sessions down, we can start working on eases. But for now, I just want to get all the keyframes in there. Yep. And then a further 10 frames forward. So shift command right cursor on a Mac, or shift control right cursor on a PC for 10 frames forward. And now let's just grab hold of these frames and just move them forward, because this is where our morph is happening. Press plus to go back in and just see what's out of place. So we have this one here. I'm just going to go up. Oh, thankfully it's just the one. And now we have that. So let's have a quick look at this. I'm just going to quickly scrub through. So grow, hold, morph. Then we're going to hold again for another 10 frames. So shift command right cursor on a Mac, or shift control right cursor on a PC. And let's again do the same thing, just copy and paste in the last keyframe just to keep it held. Copy paste, and again. And then what we're going to do is, after this, we're going to grab hold of, if you remember how we grew the text, where we double clicked on the square and made it come from the ground, we're going to have it sending it up to the air. So we'll make it go upwards as a square. Sorry, not square, a rectangle. I keep saying square. Let's have a look. So grow into a rectangle, hold, morph, hold. We want it to go morph back into a rectangle now. So shift command right cursor, or shift control right cursor. And I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. So let me do that again. And this time we just paste this. one there. And you can slowly start seeing them turning into rectangles. Whoops, I made a mistake there. So copy paste, keep going. And this is just initially the setup, and then as soon as we've done this, we can either have them grow individually and just separate the keyframes out, add some ease to them. Just slowly working my way up. Right, so let's have a look. Yep, so grow, morph, hold, morph, and then we're going to do our final one. So just going to go into its path, double click, and then bring that up. And it should just add a keyframe in. Hold shift on the other two paths, double click, and zoom up. I'm actually going to zoom in actually, so Command and plus. So I'll just quickly look at, see how they're looking. Actually, I need to solo these two because they're on top of each other. That's why I couldn't see it. Yeah, okay. So they come up. Yep, great. Let's go ahead and do that with the rest of them. So I'll click on that. I'm going to put the keyframe, sorry, put the timeline over here. And it's just a case of clicking on the path, double click, and then just drag it to the top. And then again, I'll keep soloing them individually. Clicking them to the top. And if you hold shift, it should snap to it. Solo that. Let's quickly go through this. I know it's a little bit tedious and a little bit repetitive. Click on that. And then once we've done these keyframes, we could start playing around with the eases. Move across. Next one. Click on its path. Double click. There we go. Just going to zoom down. Only a few left. And don't forget to make sure you select both paths if you have one with two paths. Great. Next one. Double click. Another one with two paths. Double click. We're nearly there. And then the final one. Double click. And let's bring that to the top. And just before we end the session, I just want to select all of these. So shift select them all, make sure they're all selected. And now let's hold Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac and right square bracket just to chop them all up at the end. Quickly scrub through. Great. Okay, so now we've got most of our setup done. Let's start scaling these, and then let's start to extrude them and work on adding some eases. So I'm just going to select everything. Just going to minimize it all. I shall just press Control and A or Command and A on a PC. Minimize it all, unsolo everything. I'm then going to go to my view and let's get rid of these guides. So clear the guides. And I'm going to right click down here. New null object, and then let's shift select all these layers and then parent to null. Right click on the null, let's rename it and we'll call it resize. Press S for scale on the null layer, and then let's start, just move this forward so we can see it. And let's just make this a little bit bigger. Let's go for around there, yeah, not bad. Maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, around something like that. Good stuff. Right, I'm gonna shift select all the text, press U to reveal all of its keys. And then here, I think this first few section, we'd have this ease in, we'll have this one ease in, this one ease in, and then we'll have the last three ease out. So if I just highlight all these keyframes here, right click on them, keyframe assistant, and let's go ease in. And then these ones over here, right click again, keyframe assistant, and let's go ease out. Let's have a look at how that's looking. Yeah, definitely more realistic and smoother. Right, so let's finally start extruding this. The first thing we're going to need to do is go to our composition settings, click on the 3D renderer, take it from classic to the Cinema 4D renderer. So this then allows us to extrude our shape layers. Click OK. With everything still selected, I'm going to click on this box over here, which will turn them all 3D. And then this should now be using the Cinema 4D renderer rather than the classic one. A good little shortcut while they're all selected is to type AA really fast. And then this would take you to your materials for each one. And what we need to do is just, if I press U as well, click on here, on the same keyframe here, and press AA. And I'm going to grab hold of my extrusion, which will be this one just below. I just realized I was looking at the null layer. This one below where it says extrusion depth, and let's put that to 100. And hopefully that puts it on all of them with them all selected. Yep. And then with them all selected still, let's put a keyframe at that. And then at the beginning, I'm going to put a keyframe at 0. Now there's something I want to quickly show you. If you go over to your active camera and go to custom view, and then let's just scrub along, which will put it into a different view, you'll notice that if you have a look, the cubes are extruding outwards, like away, and we want it to extrude towards the camera. And the way to do that is to go to your scale. So press S for scale. Let's knock off all of the locks for all of them. And then what we need to do, is actually just go to the Z depth of each shape layer and type -100, so then it starts extruding the opposite way. Because at the moment it's extruding away from us and we want to extrude towards us. So I'm just going to click on all of these to make sure I can actually grab hold of that. Just reselect them all again. I've deselected them. So then it goes X, Y, and then this one, let's go a -100. So now you should see it grows away and towards us, like that. Go to the active camera, and I'll just quickly preview that. Now, if you come across this error message over here, I've done some research. This seems to be like a little bit of a bug in After Effects, but there is a way around it. It doesn't happen to everybody, but I am glad it's happened to me because I can show you the workaround. So just click OK. And all we need to do is grab hold of the first frame and move it forward by 1 frame. So After Effects doesn't see it working from 0. It works from at least some geometry there. And then let's grab hold of the back one and bring it in. And while I'm still on here, but just before I preview, I will also extrude these out. So we have it coming in, and then we'll do the same again. So I'm going to add another keyframe here, and then I'm going to hold Shift, snap to these keyframes here, and then put this back to 0. So hopefully, if this didn't happen for you, this is great news. If it did, this is a good workaround. It's just to bring this one frame here and another frame here, inwards here. So I'm going to pause the video now and we'll have a look at RAM preview. So let's have a look at this. Yep, grows and then goes back. Right. So all we need to do right now is just add some eases to that. I'm happy with those. So let's grab hold of all of these extrusion depths, and then let's add an ease in. So I'm just going to hold Shift and select all those. Right click, and then we'll do ease in, and then let's do the same with these. Right click, ease out. Right. Yep. Ease in and ease out. Right. Just going to grab hold of all the yellow frames, and then I'm just going to move them forward. And then what we'll do is we'll see these first two come up. They turn into 3D. And as they start to animate out, I want these to animate in. So I'm going to try and look for a gap in the animation. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Right, I'll just quickly run preview this. Now I've run previewed with a space bar. Let's have a look. Yep, looks good. Okay, so let's add some lighting to this. So we have it coming out and doing that. So I am going to right click down here, go to New, Light, and let's go for a let's go for a parallel light. Now I'm just going to keep it at white, intensity 100, and I want to put let's put the shadow darkness to around, yeah, maybe we should keep it at 50. Just keep it at 50. I don't want it to be completely black. Okay. We'll see how that's looking so far. You probably won't see anything because we need a background. So I'm going to right click again, New, Solid. I'm just going to keep it at a gray color for now. We can play around with this in a second. Click OK. Bring this down. And then turn this into a 3D layer. And initially nothing will really happen, but it's okay. We're going to change that in a minute. We're going to click on all our shape layers, do the shortcut AA, go down to where it says material options, then cast shadows, and then turn this on. And then hopefully we should start seeing some shadows pop up. There we go. Just some light shadows there, kind of giving it some depth. I'm going to go ahead and put these coordinates in. So P for position. So for the X, I'm going to put in 870. For the Y, I'm going to put in 450. And then for the Z, I'm going to put in minus 350. Because I wanted that kind of angular shadow, which is already popping up there. Right, let's, I'm just going to pause the video now, press spacebar, and run preview this and see what this is looking like. Right, now that's run previewed. Let's have a look. Yep, got some good shadows, some good transitions. Yeah, and that's a good look there. So from here, this is where we could start having a play. So we have essentially finished this. We essentially finished the kind of the setup, but you know, we can carry on and now start playing with some things like the color. So one thing I like to do is go to the window, go to extension, and go to Adobe Color Themes. And here you can start playing around with some colors and stuff. And then once you like the color you like, you could go down here, press save, and it'll save it to your color theme. So by all means, you know, have a play with this. You could just click and drag them around, and you got different colors and looks. If you don't like anything here, you can always go to explore, and you've got different styles and different looks that people have uploaded, and you can even type them in. So I've already added a few here. To add them to here, again, like I said, just all you have to do is click OK once you're happy with your color. So I'm going to cross that off, and I'm going to use this one over here, this clean and simple look. So I'm going to shift select all my text, come up to my fill color, grab hold of the color picker, and I'm going to pick, let's pick this one here. Yeah, let's pick the dark one. And then for the background, go to layer, solid settings, and now let's pick maybe the light gray. Just to do an opposite color to what we had before, where it was white text and a darker background. Let's do a lighter background with darker text. There we go. See, completely changes the look. But that's just an example of how to change the colors quite easily, because we've already got everything set up. Another good thing that we could do is add a different style, so it doesn't always have to animate at the same time. We can have them sequenced. So I'll just quickly show you how that looks. So to sequence these layers, the way this works is you select one frame, one shape layer all the way to the bottom, or you could do it the other way around if you want it to go the other way around, but I'm going to go from top to bottom. I'm then going to have a look at how long my actual layer is. So if you have a look over here, it says 210. And if you remember, we took a frame off at the beginning and the end, so it's technically 2.8, which is how long our actual frames are. So this is useful to know for when we're sequencing. So we go to our animation, keyframe assistant, sequence layers, and if we just press OK right now, what it will do, it will just put this end right here, and it will do the same all the way. But we don't want that. We want it to kind of overlap. And then I'm going to do 208. And this should sequence it. Click OK. I'm going to grab hold of all of the yellow ones and then move them back a little bit, because what it would have done is sequence the whole thing, but it just saves you having to keep doing each individual one. I'll just quickly check and make sure that they don't overlap and collide with each other. Yeah, I don't think it does, which is good news. I think the gap is a little bit too big for that. Yeah, I'll bring that in a little bit more. Just around about there. I just want a tiny gap between those two shapes so they don't collide. Right, I'll just run preview this and show you a different style. Right, now the preview is done. Let's have a look at this sequence. Yeah, that looks good. Kind of has this wave-like effect. Right, okay, so let's go for a different style. First of all, I'm gonna just quickly change the look of the text. So I'm gonna shift select them all, go to my fill, and then let's pick a different color, just so we have some variety. So I'll go for this color here. It's quite bright. Yep, and then let's go for the solid. So then go up here, layer, solid settings, and then let's have some bright text with this color here, kind of this medium red. It says medium red, it looks purple to me. Kind of click that there. Okay, yep, that looks good. And I'm going to add in a camera. So I'm just going to highlight all these. Come down here, right click in the space, new camera. I'm just going to use the generic one, so just a regular two node camera. Okay. And let's see what this looks at a good angle. So I'm going to go to the position value of the camera. And all I'm doing is just moving it slightly to an angle. So I'll put these numbers in. So 400 on X. The Y, I would do 1100. And then the Z, I'm just going to keep this one as it is. See, we've got like a funky little angle there. And then I'm going to go to my shape layer, the solid that we have as a background, and just expand that so we don't see the black edges. So I'm just going to scale this up. And again, you could just click and drag these around and get different looks. But let's have a look at how that's looking as a preview. So here is an example of the new look. Just at a slight angle, definitely works with 3D text. Right. I will go ahead and show one more. I will do one with an animated camera. So whenever you animate with a camera, it's always a good idea to have the camera attached to a null layer. So I'm just going to duplicate the one we've already got on the in the project. Resize. I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to grab hold of the camera and attach it to resize 2. Right click on this, rename, and I'll just call it cam. Go to the rotation values of the cam null layer, and let's go to around about just a little bit past a second, just so we can see the full word. Yeah, around about there. And I'm just going to bring this, put this at an angle. Just going to start with quite a deeper angle than before. So put that at 15. Let's do the Z. In fact, let's put this at 15 as well. And then the Y, let's bring this up. Let's have a look at what we can do here. I'll just round that to 20. We might need to expand on this background because it's starting to chop off. So I'm going to quickly click on that, go down, just scale that even further. But yeah, that's quite a good angle there. I'll put a keyframe there on all 3 of the rotation values. And then I will go over to the next layer where these keyframes start to begin. And we'll have a look around about, in fact, yeah, while the ripple's happening, I'll have the animation of the camera. So then let's go the other way. So I will go -15. We'll do this to -15 as well. And then the middle one, I'm just going to click and drag and we'll have a look how it's looking. Yeah, we'll go the other way around. Let's do, I'll just do -35. Yeah, just a different look. Again, this is a good time to start playing with these sorts of things. But that looks good. Yeah, I can see that's just slowly going to go around. I'll run preview that in a second, but just one more thing. Just before we finish off, I think it's probably a good idea to animate the light as well, because then we could get a different shadow. So go to the parallel light, P for position, put a keyframe at the exact same place where the camera is. So the camera and the light move at the same time. And then over here, let's start moving this. So I'm going to move this to, let's have a look. We could click and drag it. Keep going. I'm going to go further. Let's go for 17. I'm just going to go for 177. 1770. Let's do that. You can see it's definitely giving it a different vibe. And for the Y, Let's move this a little bit. Move this a little bit up. So round this to 250. And then for the Z, yeah, it's getting there. Look at that shadow. Let's go for minus. Keep moving this up. It's a 6. Let's go for minus 700. Let's have a look how that's looking. Yeah, that looks good. Right, so I'm going to shift select all these, right click, and for this, let's just add an easy ease. I'm going to put my timeline to the beginning and let's run preview this new look. So let's have a look at our final example. Yeah, it looks really different compared to the other ones. So this is the beauty about 3D. Once you have the setup done, it's just a case of maybe playing around with some of these layers. You can go in there and you could change the extrude if you wanted to. Again, the possibilities are kind of endless. You can maybe do different animations with the lights, maybe change the color of the lights and stuff. So I hope that's been helpful for you. You've learned how to convert text layers into shape layers, how to then manipulate the points so you can have some morphing effects. Like you don't always have to go for a rectangle, you could do something else. But I think that pretty much concludes this class. So like always, once you're happy with what you've created, go over to composition, add it to your media encoder. And once your media encoder file has loaded up, I'm just going to keep mine as a H.264 at a high bit rate, which is just like a regular MP4. Go to the output file, and I'm just going to put it into a renders folder, click OK, and then just click this to render, and then you can watch your animation. So I hope you've enjoyed that.